Okay, so welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
We've all been there, right? You see this fancy beauty product, it's like, oh, this is gonna change everything.
Yeah.
And then you use it and like, well, where did my money go?
Yeah.
But but what if the best stuff for our skin and hair, what if it's already like right there in our kitchens? Like what if we don't need to spend a fortune?
That's what we're going to look at today. DIY beauty treatments. And, it really is so much more than just saving money.
Yeah.
It's about going back to the basics. It's about taking care of ourselves. And honestly, a lot of times it's about getting even better results.
Okay, I love this idea of going back to the basics. I mean, have you ever like actually looked at the ingredient list on some of these products?
Oh, yeah.
It's like reading a chemistry textbook, right? I mean, I don't even know what half that stuff is.
Yeah.
And it just makes me a little nervous, honestly. There's something really nice about knowing
Yeah.
exactly what you're putting on your skin,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Like, oh, it's avocado, it's honey. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's that transparency. It's like, yeah, I know what this is. I know it's good for me. So whether you're making a hair mask or a face mask or whatever, you're in control.
Yeah.
And there's so much you can do. It's really quite amazing.
So I guess for this deep dive, we're going to explore all of this,
Yeah.
all the benefits of DIY beauty treatments. So where do we even begin?
Well, let's start with what nature gives us,
Yeah.
right? I mean, think about all the stuff in commercial products that can actually irritate your skin.
Yeah.
You've got preservatives and fragrances and all these synthetic ingredients, but when you do DIY, it's different. You're using ingredients that people have been using for centuries.
Yeah, it's like what our grandmothers used to do.
Yeah.
I'm sure they had great skin.
Right. So let's look at some specific examples.
Okay.
Let's talk about honey, raw honey. It's a natural antibacterial, so it's amazing for acne,
Really?
and it's also moisturizing.
Oh, what?
So you get those two benefits in one ingredient.
That's awesome.
And you don't get that with a lot of commercial products, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of them will dry out your skin,
All right.
even as they're trying to, treat the acne.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So honey is great for that.
What about plant oils? I hear so much about those.
Yes. Like jojoba oil or argan oil. These are really special because they are very similar to the sebum that your skin naturally produces.
Mm.
So they're like recognized by your skin. Your skin can use them.
Wow.
And so they hydrate really deeply and they're not going to clog your pores.
That's really cool.
Not like some of the, heavier moisturizers that you buy.
And what about, I've heard people talk about using yogurt on their face.
Yeah, so plain yogurt has lactic acid in it.
Okay.
And that's an AHA, it's an alpha hydroxy acid. So it's a natural exfoliant. It gets rid of those dead skin cells, but
Yep.
gently,
Right.
It doesn't damage your skin.
Yeah.
So you get that brighter skin without the harshness.
And so many of these things they're already in our fridges.
I know, it's so cool.
It's amazing.
And let's not forget about fresh ingredients.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Like fruits and vegetables,
Yeah.
herbs.
Yeah.
They're full of vitamins, enzymes.
Yeah.
So using fresh ingredients, that's a real benefit.
So it seems like it's all about working with our skin, right?
Yeah.
Not against it.
Absolutely. It's not about using harsh chemicals to force our skin to do something.
Right, right.
It's about working with what our skin naturally does.
So we've talked about some of the amazing things that nature provides. But let's be honest. I think a lot of us are also intrigued by DIY beauty because of, saving money.
Oh, of course.
It's like, are these expensive products really worth it?
Yeah, that's a question a lot of people ask. The beauty industry makes us think that expensive means better,
For sure.
but that's not always true.
Yeah.
So think about it. You can make a face mask with avocado and honey.
Yeah.
It'll cost you less than $1.
Okay.
And it can be just as good as that fancy mask that costs like $50 or more.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I know, it's a huge difference.
Okay, so can we break it down a little bit? Like, what are some other examples?
Yeah, sure. So let's say you want an exfoliating scrub.
Yeah.
The store-bought kind might cost you $25,
Okay.
but you can make one with coffee grounds and coconut oil for like $1.50.
Wow.
Or a hydrating face mask.
Yeah.
Those can be $40 at the department store.
Easy.
But you can make one at home with honey and yogurt for just $2.
Really?
Yeah. And hair treatments, those are expensive too, like $35.
Oh, yeah.
But you can make an amazing hair mask with avocado and olive oil for like $3.
Okay, so we're saving a lot of money, but is it just about the individual treatment? Like, is that the only way we're saving?
No, not at all. I mean, first of all, a lot of these ingredients you can use for multiple things.
Like what?
Like coconut oil, right. You can use it to take off your makeup.
Oh, yeah.
You can use it as a hair conditioner. You can use it as a moisturizer for your body. You can even use it in some face masks.
It's a miracle product.
Right, so you don't need to buy as many separate products.
Yeah.
And also, when you're making things yourself, you're not paying for packaging, you're not paying for shipping.
Right.
And then if you buy ingredients in bulk, you save even more.
Man.
Like big jars of honey or big bottles of oil.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people find that when they switch to DIY, their skin and hair just get healthier naturally.
That makes sense.
So they actually end up using less product overall.
So it's like an investment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In yourself and in your wallet.
I like that.
Right.
Okay, so beyond saving money, what else is great about making your own beauty treatments?
Well, one of the best things is you can customize them.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, think about it. Most products are made for a general category, like dry skin or oily hair.
Right, right.
But everyone's skin and hair is different.
Yeah, for sure.
And your needs can change. I mean, it can depend on the day, the season, even how stressed you are. But with DIY, you can adjust your formulas depending on what you need at that moment.
So, like, how does that work in real life?
Well, let's say you have combination skin.
Okay.
So your T-zone is oily, but your cheeks are dry.
Yeah.
You can make a mask that addresses both. Like you could use clay on your T-zone.
To soak up the oil.
Yeah, exactly. And then you could use honey on your cheeks to moisturize.
Oh, wow. That's smart.
And if you have sensitive skin, you can test out individual ingredients.
Yeah.
So you can see what might be irritating you. You can't really do that with store-bought products. I mean, there's just too many ingredients in them.
Right.
And you can also adjust based on the season.
Oh, like how?
Well, in winter, you might need heavier oils and butters,
Yeah.
to protect your skin from the cold. But in the summer, you might want something lighter.
Yeah. Something cooling.
Yeah, like cucumber or aloe vera.
Oh, that sounds nice.
And then as you get older, you can adjust for that too. Or if your hormones are changing, or if you're stressed. I mean, you can just change up your recipe. You don't need to buy a whole new set of products.
That's amazing.
It's really about listening to your skin.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about saving money. We talked about customization. You also mentioned earlier this idea of a mindful ritual.
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Absolutely. Our lives are so busy, right?
Yeah.
But when you make your own beauty treatments, it can be this really calming, mindful experience.
Okay.
You're taking the time to choose your ingredients, to measure them out, to mix them together, and then you're applying something that you made yourself.
Yeah.
So it becomes this deliberate act of self-care.
I could see that.
It's like a ritual, right?
Yeah.
You're engaging your senses. You're smelling the ingredients.
Yeah.
You're feeling the textures. You're seeing how they transform when you mix them together.
Yeah.
And it forces you to slow down, to be in the moment.
I love that.
And when you know what each ingredient is doing, you appreciate it even more. And it can be a really fun thing to do with friends, too.
Oh, yeah, like a spa night.
Yeah, exactly. And, when you make something yourself and it works, it gives you this boost of confidence.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's about nurturing your mind as well as your body.
Okay, so DIY beauty is good for our skin. It's good for our wallets. It's good for our minds. What about the environment?
That's another big advantage.
Okay.
The beauty industry creates so much waste.
Yeah, I know.
All those plastic containers.
That's terrible.
Millions of them end up in landfills or in the ocean.
It's sad.
But when you do DIY, you're reducing your waste.
Yeah.
So you're helping the environment.
So how much of a difference can we actually make?
Well, studies have shown that if you make your own beauty products, you could save between 24 and 36 plastic containers a year.
Wow, that's a lot.
And a lot of commercial products have ingredients that are harmful to the environment.
Like what?
Like microbeads.
Oh, yeah, those little plastic beads.
Yeah, exactly. And some preservatives. But natural DIY ingredients are usually biodegradable.
Okay.
They're not going to harm the environment.
So they break down naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. And then you also have to think about transportation.
Oh, okay.
All those beauty products are being shipped all over the world.
Right.
But when you make your own products, you're often using local ingredients.
Yeah.
So you're reducing your carbon footprint.
I like that.
And you can reuse your containers. And some people even grow their own ingredients.
Wow.
Which is amazing for the environment.
So it's really all connected.
Yeah.
Okay, earlier we were talking about how DIY beauty goes back centuries. And I'm curious, like, what does science say about all of this?
Well, it's really cool because science is actually confirming a lot of what people have known for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, like take honey, for example.
Okay.
There was a study in 2018 that showed that honey has powerful antibacterial properties, and it's especially effective against the bacteria that cause acne.
Wow. So it's not just like, an old wives' tale.
No, it's actually backed up by science.
I love that.
And there are other examples too, like oatmeal.
Yeah, oatmeal is so soothing.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that.
Okay.
Research has shown that oatmeal has compounds in it that reduce inflammation and itching.
Wow.
And coconut oil.
Yeah.
You know how people use it for hair masks?
Yeah.
Well, a study in 2021 showed that coconut oil penetrates hair better than mineral oil,
Okay.
and it protects the hair from damage.
Wow.
And then there's yogurt.
Yeah.
Studies have shown that the lactic acid in yogurt increases skin hydration by 11%,
Okay.
and it strengthens the skin's barrier.
So it's really working.
Yeah, it's not just some, folk remedy. It's
Yeah.
actually effective.
So for our listeners who are, ready to get started with DIY beauty, what tools do they need? Like what's in the starter kit?
Well, you don't need a lot to start. I mean, a lot of it is probably already in your kitchen.
Yeah.
Bowls, spoons, spatulas.
Yeah.
But there are a few things that can make it easier and more fun.
Okay. Like what?
Well, a digital scale is really helpful.
For measuring.
Yeah, for measuring things out precisely, especially oils and clays.
Makes sense.
And glass spray bottles are great for making facial mists.
Yeah.
Glass is better than plastic because it preserves the ingredients.
Okay.
And then silicone face mask brushes.
Yeah.
Those are great for applying masks evenly.
Yeah.
And they feel really nice on your skin.
Okay.
And then airtight, dark glass containers.
Yeah.
Those are good for storing ingredients that are sensitive to light,
Okay.
like some essential oils.
Yeah.
And if you want to make lotions or creams, an immersion blender is really helpful.
Oh, yeah. To make it smooth.
Exactly.
And then in terms of the ingredients themselves, what are the must-haves?
Okay. So some really versatile ingredients that you can use for a lot of different things are raw honey.
Yeah.
It's a cleanser, a mask, a spot treatment, and it lasts forever.
I love honey.
Then there's bentonite clay. That's great for detoxifying masks.
Okay.
And that also lasts a really long time.
Okay.
And then a couple of good carrier oils,
Like what?
like jojoba or argan oil.
Yeah.
You can use those for moisturizing, for makeup removal, for hair treatments.
Wow. So many uses.
I know. And then a few essential oils that you like.
Yeah.
Like lavender or tea tree oil.
Okay.
Those are good for fragrance and also for their specific property.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on is, our skin changes throughout the year.
Yes.
So how do we adjust our DIY beauty routine for different seasons?
That's a great question. So in the spring, your skin probably needs some gentle exfoliation after the winter.
Yeah.
So ingredients like strawberries and papaya are really good for that.
Oh, that sounds nice.
You can make scrubs and masks with them. And then in the summer, you want things that are cooling and soothing
Yeah.
because of the heat and the sun. So cucumber and aloe vera are perfect for that.
Yeah. Those are so refreshing.
And you can even keep them in the fridge.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then in the fall, you want to repair any damage from the summer
Okay.
and prepare your skin for the winter.
Yeah.
So pumpkin is really good for that. It's got enzymes and vitamins A and C. And then in the winter, you need a lot of moisture.
Yeah.
So shea butter and avocado oil are really good for that.
To protect against the cold.
Yeah, exactly. And if you have seasonal allergies, you can avoid ingredients that might trigger them.
Yeah.
And use things like colloidal oatmeal to calm your skin.
Okay, so it's really about paying attention to what your skin needs.
Yeah, and working with the seasons.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive.
Yeah.
I mean, DIY beauty is so much more than just, saving money.
Right.
It's about taking care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Our skin, our wallets, our minds, and the planet.
Exactly. It's about using natural ingredients, saving money, customizing our routines, and being mindful.
And it's also about, going back to the wisdom of our ancestors,
Yeah.
but with the confirmation of modern science.
Yeah, it's a beautiful combination.
So for our listeners who are excited to start their own DIY beauty journey, what advice would you give them?
Well, I'd say start small.
Okay.
Choose one product that you want to replace with a DIY version.
Yeah.
And find a recipe online.
Okay.
Then create a little space for your DIY stuff, even if it's just a small basket or a shelf.
Keep it organized.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe start a beauty journal.
Ooh, I like that.
You know, write down the recipes you try and how your skin reacts.
That's a great idea.
And take some before and after pictures too, so
Yeah.
you can see the difference.
Yeah.
And there's a huge DIY beauty community online.
Oh, yeah.
So connect with other people,
Yeah.
get ideas, share your experiences, and then maybe schedule a DIY beauty day once a month.
Ooh, fun, just to experiment and have fun.
Yeah.
And pamper yourself.
I love that. So it really all starts with one ingredient
Yeah,
and a little bit of intuition.
absolutely.
So what will you create? Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for this week. We'll be back next week for another deep dive.
See you then.
Bye.